Bryan Acheampong, of course, he is one of the contenders in the 2026 January 31st NPP for on presidential primaries or ebeko na sa contest ne dey very 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 competitive. Ebia on paper no dey say dey nyina ready from various reports, global info analytics, MIT as you say Dr. Bawumia ana lead no. Well, it is closely contested. Na enra one yemia obi Asempa FM edi nkomo edian ana okan ahead of a presidential primaries ebeko January 31st 2026 nyame ya aduma aha Island TV Plus and your first time I will subscribe no like no share video na for so enya bi ahwe Dr. Bryan Acheampong ono ye businessman na Ghana ha Sambeka ya ebra ni din ehita pa going into the 2024 elections ebra news bi eba say opese auto Ghana ye insurance company baako snakes dumakuo wonom ehwe ye maame ne ye papa no ma wonom eko pension esika so no chese nanka opese woto ene sa adwe no ogidi papa sa adwe no so na honorable okujeto ablakwa ono nso ehete ye pa enise sa case no na ofolo na ena on Asempa ana obi ebusa ne say ahead of 2026 presidential primaries no then na uze o bring it to the table ntia your candidates and I said delegates no ento abamo and you will say sisi no party no we are looking for both leaders say e ka so bi bold a e wo say yenya obi a otimi e ka say ade o ebeboa oman Ghana ebeboa MPP party for no enti mastiare the affairs enti mama yenye say na yesi ya this is the result wa yensa ebeka eno ye che say ampa obi bold enti nye say okokeka nsem bia na o gina baabi ke ka tototo ayampia eno na che say we bold dabi o say eno che say we bold o say ye pe candidate ya say base polling station agent and I say executives wonom na hwema elections na ekoso no ehia fans you betimi ya provide what you say you behia ska wonom ede be ya adwuma we say yante say in our last election some of our polling station executives we so no mu hia sika wo de beto nsuo sika wo de beto amia ne kwa no wonom ensa anka obi etena so ana we say there be we say enya a leader this time around no obetumi and this house also ama without fear or hesitation. It was a leader no and no na on Asempa FM no mommy ti esemnibia Dr. Bryan Acheampong esemnibia okan.
You believe sir you've put in, because I've heard people say sir Dr. Bryan Acheampong is young, age on his side, and he will being his first attempt at the flag bearer position. No, this is him trying to test the waters, test his popularity. He is not really into win or they prepare him for subsequent elections. Any other a crime now over fast sa
a chum sa kasa no chum test waters ye prepare who sa kasa. Time is now. Adina ye fwene ye ma ye ho ye diama yama nyuku ni ye diama Ghana nti say media na me yama me ho anam so me ba be try o chine bi anyi ya makwa ye. That's what we're doing. There's a challenge within our party. I hear obi no akan abom. You hear obi a party for no betimi agi dise or a bold leader obetimi yakwa gi to me diama ye. You hear obi a obetimi di discipline. Abaya manu kwambenya ne mujiti so krachi di obetimi the discipline abaya manu ko no the here be elections na e be 2028 no be my party for no are relevant obema party for no aye relevant. Say muna mumra ni enkoye adwuma no. Ye hia obi a obetimi de mobilize resources ni ade akọ polling station ho. Akọba party for say munyi we na mfa nye adwuma ni mfa win elections no. Ye hia obi a party for no betimi agye na di say the 2 million man no win election na. Ye constituency ha friend say Nzima East no. Ye obeba be ye adwuma no de aboaye ama ye bre no so ate. Nti sa anyema we na ukoka kire party for now mom who say Yankopon so ye wadom na ba aban mu a ana ye nya tumi a opportunity be a woman no be make sure say party for no omonsa be ka bi na the journey sa anyema na so ate. If you make these presentations to the party people, it is very easy for them to connect with you, and they also trust. You see, hope is a currency in politics. Hope. Inti uma unipa na ni so that's one.
Yes.
I was so nya gidie so wo mu. Say anu na e ka asem no. Ebetimi aya na kwatere kwasa obeche ontoma.
Na what's in the
What's in the and so you get a sense that the people are able to connect with us. Inya sa hope no ewe mu say we dey ye the 2 minimum na edikan. Or ye bold leader obetimi kwa cooperate to me amaye. But the resources in the Beba ye be paying, or the Beba polling stations, so am I in Saka, or your disciplinary and the management will make sure say a Beba polling station ho direct, or be ye Juma dia bois, your community no, ye ni NDC for na ekwa kensi, ye bold leader will be DNM Ediako, a branch way. A bit to me, because I am in a
what definition of a bold leader? There can also be a bold leader. Benchmarks near then.
But you see, you in elections or in politics, you take decisions. Campaign we be any say. I mean, same as in governance, you take decisions. Rafi Ghana, young cost education. Hey. If you say a share cocoa, I see the last 40 years, I feel be a cost indication, and I wouldn't want to see and cost indication. And these are the reasons why. And you take that bold decision, you defend the decision, and then you charge through the storm. That makes you a bold leader. Because they are planting for food and jobs, for example, for 6.5 years. Because we see there be a honey, ye say ya, a bebwa marquenim, yen launch PFJ phase 2. Within 1.5 years, 18 months, ye launch second planting for food and jobs, and we ensure, say, and the fapim no, a best see ho, ama NDC for crabai, near mana edisi ho no, or more twaswa, 1 year. And so that is what I call bold leader. Come call here, no, say I can't 1.5 years. Yeah, the baby, yeah, baby, election. I don't know about having if you call my mayor, Greek minister bill. Into my mental when I'm in PMP people, no, I took bold decision and did some major things for the sector. Party for no who's a name, we and they know, say, no, we are the party initial ones are election now, be called in 2024, no campaign, no, yan troka. Send ye me beer, a betray more party for none tinker. Ubia me from. Omuko campaign omunya resources t-shirts kwa emma drew the tonsio emma bibia enkoso. They see that this is a person who tells us a election e babeko no say ne be ye no omunya omugidie. Yeah.
Na owe no as wa ela obi ebusa ne say na amongst all the contestants Dr. Aduchum, engineer Kwabena Japan, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, Honorable Acheampong Kennedy Japan, and I want to say why and a year competitive a year contestant and was a Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. I mean, it is clear. Say okay, senior a year contest no air corner dia. There is a Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia or no say competitive and also means a media okay on this particular issue.
Because one man found two Jano or main competitor in the race, Our biggest competitor in this race.
On the way to Bonnie.
And the memo okay. It is from the other chairman there. The second Dr. Bawumia. In the honor your main competitor in this race.
But we had the difference now.
Yeah, difference neso. Over some there no so to
Debbie. And yes, I know that.
And between second and the third, no so quite difference near another big difference.
And I was the fourth and fifth in the day.
That one with the among count.
When I can you.
Another
O constituency a day.
Meme free a Manson Quanta.
My main shareholder now. Manson Quanta Ashanti.
Yeah, Ashanti region. Manson Quanta.
It's quite interesting.
Yeah, very, very.
Asempa FM.
Dr. Bryan Acheampong and Abusiafo yete ne nka no. Na Fifi Kwete ono the NDC General Secretary. Se amobeka ya na ye esiedu enketia General Mosquito, the knowledgeable general, in fact the only mosquito with so much wisdom. Corona now NDC one general secretary. Of course, currently he holds a higher position now. And maybe a year future equity the NDC general secretary. Now, wakasa or say send me NDC when you have bread person she or my company Ghana dear. Ma obia between twa omo any NDC a year candidate and answer appointee bia between omo akwam. If you say why wadwen say obey bibi na etia party na gu party na nimu asede a ene ye wa nkasa wa ana say egugu no ba anasa nugase be be kan. If you say His Excellency John Dramani Mahama onye na dwene say obasoso obia so also known as General Secretary in the Obahe, say Obia, it is in accordance with NDC one principles. It is already been as a double party in Macedonia. Debbie was say, will not allow anybody's action that will take the party into a position, and also that will put the party in jeopardy. And Yema Obi Maye and Sensembi, and Koyen and Yamabi, and Kanka corruptions and some. Na the Bawumia bread party no was Debbie or not yet an idea of a train already no account in his previous year press said or not yet. Well, who said NPP NDC appointees need any man for air cathedrals now all ways are no or if he said so there is a time coming and that time we drop be sound of phone in our at now one yenya Omaru Sanda train on this particular issue.
Question again. The thing is, you cannot predict what humans will do. It is often said you don't really know people until you give them an opportunity to serve. And it is when you give them an opportunity to serve that you know their true nature. Because the tallest trees are also the trees that are very grounded, very deeply rooted. And it's not all people who have that level of what you call deep rootedness. And here I'm talking now about personal values. Because it's not so much the fact that you belong to a political party that's different. You must have values yourself. You must have a certain desire that transcends yourself and even transcends your party, where you want to do things that are right, fundamentally because they are right, not because they benefit you. Now, so until you give opportunity to people, you wouldn't know that. But once the people appreciate that this party, especially this current version of the party, will not sacrifice what is good for the collective for what is good for you as an individual, naturally people start to realize that then it's a different ball game. So for instance, if you are an individual, whether you're a minister or a chief executive or holding any position, you do know that this party will simply not defend you at the expense of the party or defend you at the expense of the country. That if you go wrong, you go under the bus and you take personal responsibility.
They know this?
Oh, they know that.
And the party will do this?
And the party definitely will do this.
The government will do this?
Absolutely. And the good thing is that we have also secured that, shall I call it, perfect assurance from the president. And in fact, I sit in cabinet, so I do know that the president again and again does state exactly that same position. That no matter who you are, if you do anything that literally will bring what you call the collective good into jeopardy,
you will not be protected.
You pay the price yourself.
President
and the party also not.
President Kufa.
Now, say His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, 10 bed no also sign out Okafano Zoo, Mumi Inti, Manfobia. His Excellency John Dramani Mahama on a legacy and ope. Inti Opaso, ye, you bit me be within the time Ghana for Ediamano. Na Oshe, the SCC, our Aman for also any of the Bini cry and Fatu. Say Bini on a bay and so a Maya, a war West Africa head na a Ghana Kwa, and I say Ukra. A democratic governance in emu papa. His Excellency John Dramani Mahama on ye na adwene sasa democratic governance na obeto tronase. It is will be a Kasembi say oh His Excellency John Dramani Mahama he's going for a third term. It is neither here nor there. We mean a year Fifi Kweti, the General Secretary of the NDC.
Also, you must appreciate that all over sub-Saharan Africa, if there is one country that has been able to provide a model that continues to be an inspiration in terms of democratic transition, is Ghana. That's why the recent thing that happened in Benin was a bit unfortunate, because Benin, along with Ghana, let's say Benin was holding the flag for the Francophones, and Ghana clearly holds a flag for the Anglophones. So what happened in Benin was really like a real slap in the face. And that for me also simply means that the searchlight must be put on Benin properly in order to understand what is happening there. If it's true that there is some kind of attempt to use what you call political manipulations to subvert things without necessarily a coup, those things have to be looked at, because we are talking about a situation where the ordinary people must constantly feel that we are empowered enough to make that ultimate decision. And not those who are in leadership thinking they are so smart that they can literally manipulate the processes constantly to their advantage. What it simply means is simple. Ghana that clearly has set this tone in terms of the transition in governance, in terms of keeping to our constitution, ensuring that we allow people to have the voices to make that decision. We at no point should ever encourage a situation where there is such what you call a disruption in our constitutional, shall I call it, what we stated that we ought to do. The president has spoken about this, and clearly he did it well, because he didn't want to allow such what you call conversations to continue as if he's entertaining it. That's not all. The party itself that has promised to ensure that we do what is right for the country has to ensure that in this spirit of reset, we are the ones who are ensuring that even though we have such a huge majority in parliament, we should use it only to be able to do what is good for the country and not trying to change constitutions because we are trying to make maybe one person happy.
So hand on heart, no Muhammad
we stand behind the president declaring that there will be no third term.
Asifwa, I don't know MP4, I don't know Tafu for MP. Was it the finance minister? I am in pay you. Say about for a Cody Brunia. Festive season yet group. Now, what is the I was say, who release the Edema or no, who release here? Oh, yes, I said, oh, my own any yet. I will do one hour more yet. And the way finance minister at Abraka. So, over budget a year 100% here, a present here. 60% and I will release it. Mr. 40% no yeda release if I go. So there we are. Eda ono mo yakọ bro festive season. Obetimi enye sika na ono mo de I check one half after all. Ono akọ bobo besia bi ni ade ade. Eda sa de a obemo obaso ayese. Mo bi etie eye ekọ asefua eye ne nsemi bia okan on this particular issue.
By the third quarter of 2025, only about 59% of the approved budget had been released. This implies that more than 40% of Parliament approved funds were not released. Given that salaries were prioritized and the approved compensation alone exceeded the total amount released, it follows that not all staff-related obligations could have been fully paid. The committee's report does not indicate that these outstanding obligations were subsequently cleared. We further confirm that Validation for December 2025 has been completed. So as we speak, validation for December 2025 has been completed. However, outstanding arrears and allowances were excluded from the validation scope and consequently not captured for payment. A decision that effectively delays or cancels these entitlements that is due staff of the Ghana Audit Service. As a result, each affected staff member is currently owed an average amount of approximately 15,000 Ghana cedis for the year under review, which is 2025. And when the year is also ending, not even a validation was captured, or they did not validate these allowances, which means that if you had any plan of using these monies for Christmas, Sikano Ashe, Sikano Ma. This has significantly reduced staff morale, particularly as many officers had planned to meet family and social obligations during the Christmas period using these entitlements. The non-payment has negatively affected motivation, work commitment, and the spirit of patriotism.
Honorable Eko Asefua, Tafu MP, Zembe Kaya, no one sense by Emma Eddie, one of the members are onum enya helicopter crashy, Bakubia, na yese negiri, and one sense ne ade. Just honorable Eko, I know more at the board, not just only MP or a fine MP. Asante ready ha indi jese roti yani no onona ono edekobol but actually na nsensem no jese just allegation na jese ono abudia keke na no epese ono essay ewusia aha Island TV plan say your first time say you watch break na wetie no obe like video no share no subscribe notification button so na or the ato on send a video fufuro bia e be upload no obenya bi ahwe amayi